Hello friends, I'm Rob.
Or am I?
This is Digital Wastrel.
Or is it?
And in this video, I'm going to be showcasing my Delaque Gang, the Court of Masks.
Or will I be doing that?
Welcome to another gang video, where everything you've been told is a lie, and the only truth you can be sure of is that I'm about to show you my Delaque Gang. I'll tell you a little bit about how I made each of them, and then I'll show you some 360s, along with a little bits of story that I wrote for each of the lovable half-human shadow assassins.
Of all the gangs I've made so far, Delaque have been the most challenging. Delaque's background as shadowy unknown mysteries who may or may not be enthralled to an alien horror older than mankind itself made it tough for me to individualise them. I love the eldritch horror aspect, and you all know that I'm down with some sea-themed gribblies, but they lack the human fallibilities that make customising the other gangs so much fun for me. In the end, I just fell back on my favourite approach, which is give everyone a cool mask.
This guy is the leader, so he gets the most masks. I ended up having the lower level gangers with bare heads and the champions actually wearing the masks, so in retrospect I kind of regret giving him a bare head. I think a hood or something would have worked better. The head I did use is from the Van Saar kit. The base Delaque box has got loads of weapons in holsters, so I decided to have him holding a mask in his free hand and then lots of extra masks around his waist. I originally made this guy before the Delaque weapons kit came out, and I wanted to have a guy holding a long rifle in two hands. The gun was an Adeptus Mechanicus gun with an extended barrel from somewhere or other. Unfortunately, I was a bit sloppy and the barrel wasn't entirely straight, which bugged me more and more until I decided to just cut it off and turn it into a plasma gun. This does mean he's now armed with a flintlock plasma rifle, which is not a negative. His laughing skull mask and his bionic arm work a little bit better with the plasma too. Not much to say here. The web gun arms are from the Genestealer the Cultist kit, which is my absolute favourite in terms of bits for converting humans. They needed a little bit of trimming to get them to fit, but it's basically pretty simple stuff. At this point in making the gang, I was also leaning into the Harlequin masks as a theme for the whole team. I wanted to evoke images of like masquerades and stuff like that, but in the end the Eldar vibe also gives them kind of an alien feel, which works as well, I think. I mentioned earlier that I initially had trouble visualising a hook for the gang, and this conversion was the first time I managed to get something that I felt really worked. She's my favourite member of the team and actually one of my favourite Necromunda miniatures that I've made. The mask, the pose and the movement of the cloth all work really well together in my opinion. Giving her two flechette pistols was a challenge that required very carefully cutting one of the guns out and then very carefully cutting away a gun from an opposite arm to put them together, because flechette pistols only come held in one hand as standard, you know. The swords on her back were a later addition, and they're from the Genestealer the Cult Assassin guy, the one with the hood and the huge cloak. Her loadout of twin flechette pistols comes from the pre-House of Shadows iteration of the Delaque gang list, when they were more of a close-range shooty gang than like a full psychic tricksy gang that they are today. Doesn't matter to me though, the miniature looks cool and so she stays as she is. I'm probably going to run her as like a Nachtghoul with a sword and two pistols or something. It's not an optimal loadout, but like I said, miniature is good, so that's enough for me. Pretty simple conversion for the Psygeist, who's the psychic member of the gang. I had to carve away some of the inside of the hood and a little bit of the mask to get that to fit in there. And the arms not holding anything are just from one of the other Psygeist loadouts that you can build. The wires needed a bit of bending to get them to fit, and then I added the power pack and some green stuff cables, and that's basically it. The basic low-level gang members of the team are not very special. They're basically built as standard. Each of them has a mask on them. This particular guy has got a las gun and arm from the Van Saar kit. I've mentioned in other videos that the Vansar and Delaque parts work together really well because they're human-sized and fairly petite, I suppose is a good way to describe them, compared to like the big bulky other rangers that exist. This guy is the Pyyr Spectre, or Pyyr Spectre, perhaps, if you prefer. The base conversion is something that I posted on Instagram ages ago, and he's been sitting on my desk for a long time, and painting him was a real chore. So he's not my best work, but I just wanted to get him finished at the end of the day and move on to something else. Basically, he is a Necron Wraith tail with the plastic Pyyr Spectre body on top. Most of the tentacles are made with the Green Stuff World tentacle roller, which I have sung the praises of in other videos. This particular little bit of cable here, if you're interested, comes from the back part of an Ogryn, slave Ogryn, the Necromunda guys. The arms are just stuck on in a different place. The mask for this guy is from the Harlequin vehicles, the Star Weavers. It's a bit bigger than the regular human-sized masks. And then also to finish off the kind of silhouette and shape of the creature, I decided to put some little antenna coming off the back. They're from like a Gundam upgrade kit, which I have used in other videos as well. And this bit is just a little bit of something that I cut off something else. Very helpful, I know. But yeah, I like the way it kind of extends out the back and fills out the shape of him. Like I said, this guy took me ages to finish, and these kit bits have broken off multiple times, so I'm kind of sick of him. You'll see later on with the 360 that he's not my best painting work, but he's done now, so you know he can get put in the cabinet, and then I can move on to another project.
Gessere, the King of Faces. Despite his title and nominal position as leader of the court, he is also a prisoner of his rank. His responsibility is as guardian of the many masks and identities that the court wears. His burden is to always be unmasked, trapped forever within his own immutable flesh, as his followers shift faces and slide into new lives. Who says House Delaque have no sense of humour? The silent laughter of the Doctor echoes throughout the dreams of those he encounters long after the battle ends. For those whose nights are forever haunted by his grinning visage, the corpses left by his plasma gun could be considered the lucky ones. Francis has a sense of theatre, standing menacingly in silhouette on rooftops or dropping into enemy hideouts through skylights. Do not mistake her style for a lack of substance, however, for all those she targets swiftly end up dead. Conrad likes to play with his victims, stalking them throughout dimly lit corridors for hours before eventually ensnaring them with his web gun. Some vanish, never to be seen again, but some are simply returned to their comrades, unharmed, although never quite trusted in the same way that they were before they were taken. Agent 02, current assignment, directing additional resources to the Mayor of Sinner's Post. Agent 05, current assignment, ingratiated into the confidence of the Mayor of Sinner's Post's favourite mistress. Agent 06, current assignment, running covert Archaeosoft at Sinner's Post Casino to ensure the Mayor of Sinner's Post's brother amasses a considerable debt. Agent 09, current assignment, supplying arms to a variety of Ash Waste's warlords, known to have substantial grudges against Sinner's Post. Candidate Epsilon 15. Even amongst the shadowy members of the court, Candidate Epsilon 15 remains an unknown quantity. Their comings and goings are not recorded, and any attempt to do so mysteriously becomes corrupted, lost, or forgotten. The court knows only that they are presumably human and hopefully loyal. The Confidant. When an agent of the court returns to the fold after discarding an identity and returning a borrowed face, They must spend time alone in confession with the Confidant. Do not fear the Confidant. He is your friend and mine. The agent must spill the secrets they have learned, and purge themselves of any lingering attachments formed during their time away. The process is soothing and mandatory. The screams heard from the confessional chamber, the tear-streaked faces and shaking footfalls, are all testament to the succour provided by the Confidant. He is your friend and mine. Find solace or oblivion in his many arms. That's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw and you want to support the channel, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. If you want to see some more videos, I've got a whole bunch of other gang showcases. They're up on my channel somewhere. You can just click through and find them for yourself. You're smart. I believe in you. Okay, bye.